Good afternoon, dear children. So here let us continue with the chapter of hopscotch. I hope that all of you have gone through the portion till where I have completed, and today I will be moving further with the chapter. Okay. So now, as we had seen that to play the game of hopscotch, we need to have agility, nimbleness. We need to balance ourselves when we are playing, when we are hopping. And since we are hopping on one leg, of course, we need to have the balance. If we touch the borderline of the boxes, and then what happens then is that we become out. And when we are throwing the marker also into the boxes, it should fall in the right space of the box. If it touches the borderline, then also again we are out, and it should enter the right box where we are supposed to throw. Box, I mean the squares, since we are making 8 squares to play the game. So we need to understand the rules of the games. Then again, when we have the lateral boxes or the lateral squares where we are having, there we put down both our legs, one in each box, and then again we move further. Okay. So these are the certain basic rules that we need to follow when we are playing this game. So now here I will continue further. Many forms of hopscotch are played across the globe. So all around the world, every place, every country is playing this street game. It's a traditional street game. It's an informal game. So we all play it during our pastime. And we enjoy playing it as we are having lot of body movement, which is very important for our physical growth, and even it is important for our mental growth. So here Stapu's name in Persian is Leli. So they are known by various names. Okay, Stapu, I think so you all know it. You have played Pittu, you call in that in India also. And one tile upon the other you keep on placing, and then you have to hit it with the ball. Then a French variant is known as escargot, snail, or marelle ronde, the round hopscotch. Okay, so the boxes are made round in round way, and then you have the boxes in between where you jump according to the requirement of the boxes where you are supposed to do according to the requirement of the rules of the game. In Germany, Austria and Switzerland, it is called Himmel and Hölle, that is heaven and hell. The first square is called Erde, earth. So these are the various names which are known in various countries. While the second last square is the Hölle or the hell, and the last one is Himmel, which is known as heaven. The numbers hopscotch game is a fun variation on an old favorite. So again you have the number hopscotch where you needn't throw the marker, okay, though you have to make the boxes. You don't need to toss a stone or use a marker. So in this number hopscotch you don't need a marker or any stone which you are throwing as we are doing the other hopscotch. For this version of hopscotch, just keep hopping on one foot and try not to step on the wrong square. Okay, so that we have to remember that we should step in the right square, not in the borderline. These are points we have to remember. Think it's easy, give it a try. So it's not so easy because we have to maintain the balance. Sometimes the squares become smaller, so that the difficulty level is increased, and this way there we have to be very agile. Very quickly we have to decide that how we are going to move around. Okay, does that seem too easy? Make it trickier for players by making them put their hands behind their backs and repeat the process. Yes, if your hands are tied at the back and then you are told to jump, it is very difficult to balance your body. Our hands help us to balance our body when we are hopping on one leg. And so that is again another difficulty level which is increased. So when your hands are tied back or when the boxes become small, so balancing your body is not so easy. then behind their backs and repeat the process or jump only on even or odd numbered squares in sequence. Yes, since the boxes are again made in sequence, so now you have to, you are told to increase the difficulty level. Maybe you will be told to jump on the even numbers or select the odd numbers. Now jumping one over the other means you are in between, you are leaving a box and moving on to the other one. So then it becomes difficult if your boxes are big, if you don't place your foot properly, so it is quite difficult. Such traditional games act as learning aids. Yes, this is a very important sentence. These traditional games are our learning aids. Now what do we learn from these traditional games? Your last paragraph is totally based on what you are learning from the games. They teach us many things. To learn to win and lose. That is the first and foremost lesson that we are learning. Yes, we should accept that yes, I have lost, and you should accept that I have won, but you should not be proud of it, to show off, to air off to others that see, I have won the game, you have lost the game. So that is a very bad habit of criticizing others if others lose. So we should take it very jovially, happily, and we should enjoy the game. That is the most basic part of playing a game, is that let us all enjoy the game besides learning something new. So to learn to win and lose, to observe keenly, and to develop our maths and sensory skills. So besides this, we are learning our maths and sensory skills are also developing. To improve motor skills and hand-eye coordination. Yes, motor skills means my hand is moving, my brain is getting the message, immediately I have to jump, immediately I have to move. So these all things, the motor skills, my activeness, my body parts activeness, agileness, agility, everything should be very perfect. Then hand-eye coordination. Yes, when I throw my marker, is it going to the right box? That I have to notice, and I have to throw it properly. To plan and think logically. So to plan that if I jump from this side, it is easier for me, it's comfortable, I have to maintain the body balance. So these all things, these planning is required. And think logically. Logically means what is practically applicable. So that I have to think, and then I have to jump accordingly or plan accordingly. And last but not the least, to have fun. Yes, enjoy the game. You are playing a game, enjoy it. Okay, that is the main purpose of playing a game. Now let us come to this box which is you have this box. Let us go through that. What you will need: a chalk, a space, paved or made of flattened mud. Paved means where it is cemented. Either you can play on that cemented part, or else you can go on a mud also. But thing is, it should be leveled. Okay, then only it becomes easy for us to jump. How to play by the numbers hopscotch. Step 1. Make a grid of 12 squares on the sidewalk. So we have to make 12 boxes. Okay, and boxes should be 2 feet by 2 feet. Then step 2. Number the box squares 1 to 12. Do not number them in sequence, not one after the other. You have to take sometimes diagonally, so that you increase the difficulty level of that game. Do not number them in sequence, but do make sure that a number isn't more than one row away from the number that came before it. So here it is given in the box. You see there. So that means you can go it diagonally, you can go. That's okay. But you cannot skip one row. Okay. Then step 3. Hop on one foot from square number 1 to square 2 to square 3 and so on. A player is out when he or she accidentally steps out of a square or lands out of sequence. So we have to remember that I have to go in sequence. If you are told to go in the odd number, that also you have to remember, or even number, that also you have to remember. So these all things should be, that means it should be in your brain. Brain is active, body is moving, physically you are moving, and so that keeps you healthy. Okay, so these are the various requirements to play the game. We are learning a lot from this game. So, and the bottom line is that enjoy the game. Don't fight over it. If you are losing, don't fight. If you are winning, don't show the pride. So these are the basic rules that we have to remember when we are playing the game. So children, I want you all to draw this, the boxes in your copy, and then write a paragraph on it on how you play the game. Okay? Either you take hopscotch or else you take any game, whichever of your choice, which you can draw and write a paragraph on how you play and what you are learning from that traditional game. Of course, it should be a traditional game or a street game, any game, whether it's a marble or anything. So, what benefits are you getting from that game? So, this you have to write in your notebook. And please go through the chapter properly, word by word, so that you remember, because short questions are going to come again for the exam. So prepare accordingly. Okay, read the chapter aloud so that you can have a good vocabulary, good pronunciation, and then it will be easy for you to later on understand, remember it. Okay, so I stop over here. Thank you and have a wonderful day.